Hi everyone, good afternoon. Welcome to the Marketplace. My name is Daryl Kwa. Great to have you as company this afternoon. Coming up in the bulletin, African Development Bank Group unveils $10 billion response facility to curb coronavirus outbreak. Also coming up, FAO cautions African leaders to pay attention to food security as COVID-19 lingers on. And Saving Small Businesses will tell you how one financial institution, DLX Finance, is offering interest-free loans during these times of the coronavirus pandemic. My name is Daryl Kwa. I'll have details right after this break. Welcome back. Let's begin with food matters. And as Africa has started closing its borders and locking down communities to mitigate the risks of the coronavirus, the Food and Agriculture Organization of the United Nations is calling for all countries to take urgent measures to lessen the impact on food systems and all dimensions of food security and nutrition. Let's connect now with the FAO Deputy Regional Representative and Country Rep for Ghana, Joycelyn Brown-Hall. Great to have you on our program this afternoon. I hope you're doing fine.
I'm well, thank you.
Great. And so based on your numbers, what's been the effect so far on food security as we try to tackle this coronavirus pandemic?
Well, so far, still over 80 people in the world who are food insecure. We haven't decided how much the COVID-19 has affected that thus far. There is enough in the world. What we have to be worried about now is not breaking the food supply chains.
Okay, and so let's look at how you expect this to affect food security globally in the long term. We know right now we are not able to put together the figures, but what is your projection really?
Well, we have a unique opportunity at the moment to address food security. It might happen, food insecurity that might happen, and also nearly 8 billion people who are food insecure right now. If we continue to have lockdowns, farmers can't grow, and people can't get to and truckers can't drive to supermarkets, are going to have a serious security crisis. But we have an opportunity because we do have enough food, and we do still have earth, and we can trade. So it's important for policymakers to they're still working 24/7 addressing COVID-19 and health issues and masks, PPEs, and ventilators. Also be thinking about could be a horrible food insecurity situation if we don't start now. Yeah, there's enough food in the world, and there's enough from what the world has produced. We've got to keep these supply chains open and make sure that the people who are part of the supply chain continue to be safe and healthy.
Is a glimmer of hope there when you say that we have enough food? And so how are we trying to get the food to go around? Any policy initiatives being discussed with stakeholders on best ways to also cushion smallholder farmers and people who bring the food to the table, really?
Well, let me address this first by stating I want to applaud the government of Ghana, as well as many other Africans, that while there's lockdown, there's no flights going. There are still allowing food to come from other places. And that's a really important step. Governments do not impose export bans or import bans, that they don't stop the market. In terms of small, we have to make sure that the inputs needed and the ability, the health ability to harvest what they need and all that food to markets. So we have to create markets and systems that can be safe, where people can visit them, social distancing and physical distance, wearing masks and gloves, to be able to get their food.
All right. All right, thank you so much. That was Joycelyn Hall of the Food and Agriculture Organization, the Ghana rep. Thanks very much for your time. Apologies, we have to cut that conversation, as I can imagine you're straining in your homes to hear what she has to say. Hopefully we'll have that discussion subsequently. Well, the African Development Bank Group has announced the creation of the COVID-19 response facility to assist regional member countries in fighting the pandemic. The facility is the latest measure taken by the bank to respond to the pandemic and will be the institution's primary channel for its efforts to address the crisis. It provides up to $10 billion to governments and the private sector. Here's a news desk report.
President of the African Development Bank Group, Akinwumi Adesina, said the package took into account the fiscal challenges that many African countries are facing. He said, quote, Africa is facing enormous fiscal challenges to respond to the coronavirus pandemic effectively. The African Development Bank Group is deploying its full weight of emergency response support to assist Africa at this critical time. We must protect lives, and this facility will help African countries to fast-track their efforts to contain the rapid spread of the COVID-19, unquote. The fund entails $5.5 billion for sovereign operations in African Development Bank countries and $3.1 billion for sovereign and regional operations for countries under the African Development Fund, the bank's group concessional arm that caters to fragile countries. An additional $1.35 billion will be devoted to private sector operations. 2 weeks ago, the bank launched a record-breaking $3 billion fight COVID-19 social bond, the world's largest US dollar-denominated social bond ever on the international capital market. Last week, the board of directors also approved $2 million grant for the World Health Organization for its efforts on the continent. Ebenezer Sabte's report for Joy Business.
Now, Chief Executive of DLX Finance, Ken Thompson, has called on corporate Ghana, especially the financial sector, to go beyond donations and come up with plans that will help save and give SMEs a lifeline. His call comes after government promised to use part of a 600 million cedi allocation from the coronavirus alleviation program to support SMEs, even though his finance house, DLX Finance, is offering loans on 0% interest from now to June. Ken Thompson, who spoke to my colleague Novan Aboagye-Wiafe, said that the youth and SMEs need more support to survive this season.
You know, what are you going to do? So say, you know, and it's as simple as that. I don't like people to cloud it in terminology. Well, I gave you a loan of 50 cedis. You're going to struggle to pay. I was expecting that you're going to pay, I don't know, 80 cedis. You know what? You take a loss of 40, I also take a loss of 40. That's it, and we both survive. But you must start to have those conversations now.
Now, let's look at, I think I saw something there with regards to some kind of discussions that people have said we need even to be able to access loans to revive various industries, SMEs and all that. When all this is over, or even whilst we are in the process of trying to contain it, let's look at businesses being able to give loans on zero interest. I don't know what your thoughts are and what DLX is doing in that regard.
So, with respect to those sort of programs, we at the moment, we know that the two big concerns of our clients at the moment is for sustenance and the financial well-being. And 4 years ago, we launched a product called DLX Swift. DLX Swift makes it easy and appealing for young people to invest for the things that they want. So we are saying that between now and the end of June, if you take a loan, we charge you 0% interest. And remember that ordinarily we'll charge you 24% interest. Between now and the end of June, we charge you 0% interest. We care. This is the time when companies should show empathy. Ghanaian corporates can do much, much, much more. They can do more. I even listen to some of the adverts still running on radio and TV. I get horrified. Guys, this is a time of crisis. This is a time to connect the society. This is the time for leaders. This is the time, in the time of crisis, that's when leaders stand up. This is the time to show the way. So for us, that's our contribution, and I hope that other companies will follow. It's a life and death situation, and I'm hoping that Ghanaian corporates will follow our example because they can do much, much more.
You are at the marketplace. Palm oil has gone digital in an era where social distancing is a must. This digital platform for ordering your palm oil is indeed timely. This innovation, amongst others, is part of efforts by the Artisanal Palm Oil Millers and Outgrowers Association of Ghana to boost marketing for small-scale palm oil producers. In this report, we take a look at small-scale palm oil production and the step into the digital world to improve the fortunes of the industry.
Palm plantations and mill was first set up by Alexander Cecil Goff in the early 1900s. The story goes that Europeans in Malaysia later traveled to Ghana to learn about oil palm plantation, cultivation, taking away seeds and production techniques. From this common route, the palm oil industry took very divergent paths in the two countries. By 1960, Malaysia had a well-established palm oil export industry, while attempts were underway to revive Ghana's oil palm industry to meet domestic, industrial and consumption demands. Although there are now few industrial-sized producers like Benso Oil Palm Plantation, among others, the industry remains dominant by small-scale producers.
The artisanal millers produce about 60% of the total oil that palm oil we produce in the country. So we are talking in volumes of about close to 120,000 metric tons a year. So palm oil, like I said, is even though we are not paying much attention in Ghana as compared to Malaysia, how they are doing things, even Nigeria, they are doing a lot of investment in it. But when you come to Ghana, that kind of investment is not going into it. So people see it as not actual business. Like the artisanal millers, they do it for just normal consumption and stuff like that.
A lack of modern machinery, lack of funding and lantana issues, as well as a poor marketing structure have over the years accounted for the dwindling fortunes of the oil palm industry, especially among the small-scale producers.
The artisanal millers that dominate, that's doing all the 60%. When you go and see the kind of technology that they are using, you see that it's very bad. In terms of recovery rate, when you take in technology, when you take countries like Malaysia, they are doing close to 21 to 24% recovery rate. But when you come to Ghana, they are doing 8%. So look at the kind of volumes of oil that we are losing.
Despite the challenges, the Executive Secretary views efforts by the Artisanal Palm Oil Millers and Outgrowers Association of Ghana are beginning to yield results.
We, as an association, have business models that we've pushed for government. We are doing a lot of things, getting market in terms of having technology, market tools, everything, so that we get the market. So any member within the association who is interested to expand, we give you the market, we train you, we give you the technology, and you are good to go.
A partnership with the National Food Buffer Stock Company led to market creation and subsequently the development of an app to further expand the market.
Packaging came out of NAFCO. They started giving an extension that the oil that we are sending to the school, they don't like the packaging material that we are doing. Because previously they were just using this normal pre-control to send to the school. So it was open. So the CEO told us that no, even though we are using 25 gallon, the 4 gallon, we need to do it nice. We need to package it well. So the idea came from there. We need to do a lot of work to do the packaging. And we went in to do electronic system to make sure we do validations. So that came out with this applications to do validation, and you can even use the application to order palm oil and stuff like that.
The app, which is available on the Google Play Store or the Apple App Store, does two incredible things. 1, helps you order from the comfort of your home, and 2, validates the source of your palm oil. So in this case, this is the Google Play Store. I'm sure the Apple people too have this.
They have it. Yeah.
So you can find it here, artisanal palm oil on Play Store, and then I am installing mine.
When you download, this is the face of it. You have validate oil and buy palm oil. When you want to order palm oil, you just go, you click on it. You have retail, you have wholesale. You want to buy only 1 gallon, you just go retail. You fill in your name, Paul, your phone number 0576335247. Quantity, you want 1. What liter? Because we have in various sizes. So you just click, the sizes will come. You want 1 liter, you click on 1 liter. And you give us your location, Adenta, or you just give us the positive GPS address so that we can locate you easily. Adenta. Yeah. So when you fill in that, the price will come down here. So you fill in, if you want to pay with your mobile money, you fill in, you send the money, and you fill in with the transaction code, and immediately it will come to our database. So we will call you to confirm that you've done an order for this palm, and we have all the data. We will use the Ghana Post GPS to even locate you. You don't need to even tell us where you are. If you are using the GPS code, we easily locate you using the simple application that we have. The validation is for the customers. If you want to really know where you are buying your palm oil, so that you don't eat any Sudan 4, you really need to validate, and it tells you that it's coming from our association. So it's just simple. There's a barcode here, and this system is having a barcode so that it can reconcile. So you just click on it.
Original palm oil products. I am Kopapani.
Amazing.
Okay. So when you use any other barcode, it won't recognize, because we've done the system that we can track anything that we do here. The order we received, we just did the validation of payment. So we come here and we receive order of 4 liter, 1 of it, and 1 of 2 liter. So we do it, and we call for the motorbike, and they will deliver at your doorstep.
P-Tunes on the beat.
The palm oil industry remains a significant contributor to job creation and rural income. Now faced with the pandemic, which requires the nation to increase its domestic capacity, there's no need saying this palm oil sector holds bright prospects. However, government support will be crucial to improve its fortunes. For Joy Business, Sheila Tamaklo reporting.
Interesting stuff. We'll still stay with food matters. We've been talking about food insecurity or food security during these times of coronavirus pandemic, and we heard from the FAO, which says that there's enough food to go around. What's the situation in Ghana? I'm joined in studio by a rep from the Peasant Farmers Association, the programs director, actually Charles Nyaba, to give us a Ghanaian perspective to all of this. And so I'll start with the point, or the fact that the FAO says there is enough food to go around. Is it the same situation in Ghana?
Thank you so much. For now, I think we have food for a very short period, but we are looking at in going forward what will happen. You know, usually farmers produce, they save some of their stock and then sell it to use that to continue with the previous farming season. So what we produced in 2019, as you say, is still there. to be supplied to the market.
Okay, and so we've received similar assurances from the Ministry of Food and Agriculture, but I'm told that you have written a proposal for consultation. Consultation on what?
Yeah, we are looking at in going forward. Already, the lockdown distracted our activities already. Movement of farm goods is a problem. Movement of our members from lockdown areas to their farms has become a problem. Access to market to perishable goods that school feeding program and the hospitality industry used to purchase has become an issue, and then we are already recording post-harvest losses in some food growing areas.
Let me ask you about the lockdown challenges, because I believe you are essential workers. The president did point that out. So why do you have challenges moving from one place to the other?
So that's the issue. We have the impression that the security got it wrong. After the president issued a statement, the Minister of Food and Agriculture also came out with a directive that all agricultural commodities and agro inputs will be moved freely. But 2 days after that directive, we got reports from our members. Me in particular, I have goods that are moving them from Upper East to Tamale. Before the goods will get there, the kind of challenges we will get through the security checks before they get there, it's not easy.
Right.
And people who also transact business in the value chain have misinterpreted the lockdown, and they don't know that even their commodities are exempted from the movement. So those people have also gone to setback. So all this is affecting access to those inputs for farming activities.
Oh, right. This is a worrying matter that has to be dealt with. But in your initial comments, you made a reference to the fact that we have food, but it's just for a short period.
Yeah.
Now, what's the duration you're talking about, and what do we need to do now?
Yeah. Usually, what we do is that after production, you sell some to offset your cost of production, and then you save some and sell them during the laying season to help you in your previous year's production. So we'll continue selling. If you take maize, for instance, we still have enough stock now that can be sold from now until July, when certain sector would have started harvesting of the major season maize. Now, so those that we have in stock for now may take us to that level. But if we are not able to increase our production for this year, what will happen when we are entering the following year and to the end of the year? You know, if you take crops like rice, you take poultry parts, and some few other vegetables that we import, we get them from US and other places. So if we are not self-sufficient, let's say for rice, and we have to get supplement from US, and US happen to ban movement of rice or chicken part, if we are not able to increase our rice productivity, it means that there will be shortage. So we are saying that for us to be guaranteed that for this year and going forward, even if our importing countries should ban exportation of goods to our country, we should be able to have enough food to cater for ourselves. And we can only do that if we extend stimulus package that we are giving to the other sectors of farmers, encourage new farmers or people who lose their jobs as a result of the lockdown to go into farming, then we'll be able to increase our food production.
Charles Nyaba, wish we could continue, but we've run out of time. Program Director of the Peasant Farmers Association. We would certainly have this conversation in the near future. Thanks very much indeed. That is the Marketplace this afternoon. Thanks for watching. My name is Darryl Kwao. As always, more news on our website, myjoyonline.com.